The cool earth always seemed to call to Elara. Not just a call, but an invitation, a soft whisper that promised solace and release from the everyday clamor. For as long as she could remember, her happiest moments were spent with bare feet on the ground, especially in the hushed embrace of the old forest that bordered her small town. She knew this forest intimately. Every root gnarled like an ancient hand, every patch of sun-dappled moss, every carpet of fallen leaves crunching just so underfoot. She could distinguish the soft give of pine needles from the springy resilience of fern, the gritty texture of dry earth from the slick coolness of damp soil. Running barefoot here wasn't just a physical act, it was a conversation, a deep communion with the natural world. On this particular afternoon, the air held a crisp, clean scent, a blend of damp earth and distant pine resin. Sunlight filtered through the canopy in golden shafts, illuminating dust motes dancing in the stillness. Elara felt a familiar lightness in her steps, a joy that bubbled up from deep within her chest as she wove through the trees. The forest floor, a patchwork of textures, greeted her souls like old friends. A patch of cool, damp moss here, a brief scattering of tiny, sharp pebbles there, quickly followed by the comforting softness of centuries of decomposed leaves. She ran deeper, her pace steady and rhythmic, lost in the simple pleasure of movement and the quiet beauty surrounding her. The path, if one could even call it that, grew less defined, more wild. She didn't mind. This was where the forest truly felt alive, where she could feel its ancient pulse. Then it happened, not with a jolt or a sudden obstacle, but with a subtle, unexpected sensation. Her left foot, which had just sunk into what she assumed was a particularly soft bed of moss, registered something profoundly different. It wasn't the yielding cushion she expected, nor the firm earth beneath. Instead, there was a peculiar, almost unearthly warmth. It was a soft warmth, like a hand held gently to her skin, or a sun-warmed stone on a cool day. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was utterly out of place. The air wasn't particularly warm, the sun was high but not scorching. This warmth emanated from the ground itself. Elara slowed, then stopped, her other foot still poised mid-stride. She lifted her left foot, feeling the odd sensation linger on her sole. Curiosity, a gentle but persistent current, nudged her. She lowered her foot again, this time more deliberately, shifting her weight onto the spot. The warmth was undeniable, spreading slowly up her arch, a comforting heat that seeped into her skin. It was also incredibly soft, impossibly soft. Softer than any moss, more yielding than any collection of leaves she had ever encountered. It felt alive in a way the forest floor never had before, a strange, almost intimate sensation. Her gaze dropped, following the line of her leg down to her foot. The dappled sunlight on the ground was playing tricks, she thought. It looked like a deep, rich brown, almost black in places, with hints of red and gold where the light caught it just right. But it wasn't the usual texture of soil or decaying foliage. What she saw wasn't earth, it wasn't moss, it wasn't fallen leaves. It was hair. Not just a clump or a patch, as if an animal had shed its winter coat. No, what she was standing on, what stretched out before her as far as her eyes could discern through the trees, was a vast undulating expanse of it. Strands of it, thick and impossibly long, woven together into a dense living carpet that replaced the familiar forest floor. The warmth was coming from this, from the hair itself. A quiet wave of disbelief washed over her, a sensation akin to waking from a dream only to find the dream's strange logic still lingering in the real world. She knelt slowly, carefully, her fingers outstretched. The strands were fine, yet incredibly strong, interlocking in a way that defied the casual tangle of fallen hair. It felt incredibly soft to the touch, like the finest spun silk, yet it supported her weight. The color varied, from deep, resonant browns to shimmering coppers, with streaks of silver running through it like delicate veins. And it wasn't just under her foot, it was everywhere. The roots of the tree seemed to emerge from this strange living tapestry. The small wildflower she had just admired seemed to be growing from it. The entire forest floor had been transformed, silently, inexplicably. There was no sense of horror, not a jolt of fear, but rather a profound, almost reverent awe. It was as if the forest, her beloved familiar forest, had quietly revealed a secret, an underlying truth that was both ancient and utterly new. This wasn't something to flee from. This was something to contemplate. She sat back on her heels, letting her hands rest on the soft, warm surface. The quiet hum of the forest remained, the gentle rustle of leaves high above, the distant call of a bird. But now, overlaid upon it all, was this new, strange reality. The ground, the very foundation of her world in this moment, was alive in a way she had never conceived. She stayed there for a long time, simply observing, touching, absorbing. The forest hadn't changed, not really. The trees were still trees, the light still filtered down, the air still carried its earthy scent. But her perception of it had shifted irrevocably. It was no longer just the familiar, comforting woods. It was a place of deep, profound mystery, a living, breathing entity that held secrets far beyond human comprehension. Walking back, her steps were slower, more deliberate, feeling the soft, warm hair beneath her feet with every movement. The feeling of the familiar earth returned only as she neared the forest edge, a gradual transition back to the world she knew. But something within her had irrevocably changed. This experience, stepping onto something so utterly unexpected and yet so profoundly present, taught Ilara a quiet but powerful lesson. It was a reminder that even in the most familiar spaces, hidden wonders and unexpected truths can lie just beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. Sometimes the most profound revelations don't come with a bang, but with a gentle warmth beneath your bare feet. What about you? Have you ever had a moment where something familiar suddenly revealed a deeper, more mysterious layer? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing for more tales that explore the gentle mysteries of our world. Until next time, keep exploring both the world around you and the quiet spaces within.